Congratulations, I am proud of you. You've made it all the way through the series. I try to go through the series very quickly because, again, I know that this type of information could be overwhelming, so I try just to give you the basics of what you need to do to become successful. Now, on my website, I have other series in more detail and with video if you choose to look at them. Now, let's do a quick recap of everything we talked about. Now, again, our goal is to focus in on people who want to buy our product, right? We need to know what their demographics are, what their income level is, age, gender, marital status, where they live, maybe they have debt, whatever it may be, whatever detail you can provide to that persona or profile, whatever those features you can give it, the more likely you are to find people who are likely to say yes than no. So again, we have to be disciplined about targeting only people who fit the profile. Then we talked about product value. When we look at our product or service, let's look at the features, let's look at the benefits, but also let's tie in insight. Remember FBI, feature, benefit, insight. And insight is not information, it's information beyond the obvious, information the consumer doesn't have. Okay, so once we understand who we're selling to, profile, persona, and once we understand the value of the product we have to offer, then we need a process, right? A method of madness, so to speak, how we go about selling. We said step one would be, let's establish a point of contact. Let's find the right target customers. Once we do that, we're going to set up the first meeting. Then, if we can't close right there, if we're not convincing enough, then let's do a follow-up, let's say 2 days later. Then we're going to do another follow-up a week later, and at that point, we're going to make a decision to either do it one more time, follow-up, or decide to move on to somebody else. Again, the goal here is to be consistent and have a discipline when approaching the sales process. Then we talked about, during the meeting, we have a presentation process, right? What are we going to present? How are we going to present? What are we going to say? How are we going to say it? So during that presentation process, that one-on-one meeting or one-on-two, the first thing you want to do to prepare for that is to list 3 to 5 objections customers typically have for not buying your product or service. Because what we want to do is block those objections or address them during our conversation. Now, I said that during the meeting, we're going to have a 3-step presentation process. First step is to empathize, right? Understand our customer, ask questions, ask a lot of open-ended questions and confirm with closed-ended questions. But the goal here is to really understand the customer where they're at. Once we understand where they're at, we kick into the most important phase of the presentation process during the meeting, and that is we're going to educate them on our products. And during the educational piece of that, what we're going to do is provide insight, information beyond the obvious. We're going to talk about features, we're going to talk about benefits, but more importantly, we're going to talk about insight, stuff that makes the customer go, I never looked at it like that. Wow, that's an interesting perspective. Wow, I didn't know that. This is what we want. But we're also, during the educational phase here, we want to make sure that we address the objections, the 3 to 5 objections we list that the customer might have. So we want to block the objections or address them during the educational phase of our presentation. So again, we're in the meeting, we empathize, we educate through insight, and we also address objections, and now we want to empower them to make a decision. And the best way to empower them is not A, B, C, always be closing, because people don't want to be closed, but you can be convincing. And how are we going to be convincing? Let's provide some visuals. Let's show them some data. Let's show them some testimonials. Let's calculate some numbers for them, how we can help them increase their revenue or reduce their costs. Get the idea? This is how we can empower them to make a decision. Now, listen carefully. You got to ask for the sale. You got to ask for some type of commitment. I always believe in that, obviously. But again, the best way to do it is to present them with such great information, present them with options, and let them decide to go forward. You're going to try to influence them, obviously, but again, when you try to pressure customers into making a decision, you're going to get a negative reaction. And even if they were to buy from you because you pressured them into buying, they're going to regret it later on. They're going to have buyer's remorse, and that's not what we're about here. We're really about selling a value product to the right customer, so it's a win-win situation. Now again, selling is not easy, so you're not going to get a lot of yeses all the time. You're going to get more no's than yeses, but it's those yeses that really count. And what are you going to keep in mind? The torpedo analogy. When you go after something, a customer in this case, and they say no, you just need to update your programming. How can I improve? How can I get better? What can I do differently? That's your mindset. Every time somebody says no, how do I improve? How do I get better? What do I need to change? Because eventually, you're going to hit your target. This is Victor Antonio. I want to thank you for taking the time to learn about the 7 simple steps to direct selling. Please go to my website, www.victorantonio.com, for more videos and books for free. Take care. All my best to you.
Every manager can feel it. the difference between a motivated, value-driven sales team and one that's stuck in a rut. CEOs know the difference too. They can see it clearly in the profit and loss columns. The question is, how do you get your team to this elite level? Is there something extra you can do to break through the remaining resistance and equip them with the right mindset to grow your business? Yes, there is. But you're not going to do it with one of those cheesy inspirational speakers or some self-proclaimed guru. What you need is someone with a real business track record to deliver key insights in a captivating way, to give your team the right tools for selling in today's tough marketplace. Enter Victor Antonio, experienced executive, innovative thinker, compelling speaker. He's ready to deliver the message you need your people to hear, not with a canned speech, but a customized, dynamic keynote designed to deliver results. Bring Victor Antonio to your next event before the competition does. Go to www.victorantonio.com for more information.